Hello, everyone, and welcome to this first full week of April. I'm Belinda Ellsworth. I'm so excited to share this information with you today. We are going to talk about creating a dumpster mindset and actually getting a physical dumpster for your home or for your office, and what a change that can make in you, honestly. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. This whole week, we're talking about spring cleaning, and I'm excited to dive into it with you. So my first question to you is, have you ever rented a dumpster? And there is all different types and sizes, and they range in different prices. You can get one for as low as $250 on up to about $1,000 for an average one that you would probably get in your driveway. It's around $400. That's what we paid for the one that we had, and that was a 15-foot one. So they have like 4 or 6 feet ones, they have 10, then they have 15 feet. And a lot of people go with the 10 because they think, okay, it's going to be big enough and it holds, certain yards of product or tons of product. But the 15-foot one is good if you have some bigger items, like if you're looking at your home as well, like in your garage, or things that you need to get rid of, or any 2x4s or any long things, they will fit in that dumpster. If it is longer than 10 feet, if you get the 10-foot one, then you might not have as much room, and the price is not that much difference. So that's what we went with, is a 15-foot one. If we were to do it again, because we got rid of so much that first time, we would probably get a 10-foot one the second time around. Now, we had never gotten one. We had talked about it and finally said, okay, let's do it. Now, to create a picture here for you, because this is the dumpster mindset. So it was like, okay, we're going to get it. And we picked like a right time. We looked at the weather. So we waited till a little bit, in spring. We looked at the weather and saw when the weather was going to be good, because you don't want it to be rain, because that wouldn't be good. So we chose a week and we said, okay, this is when we're going to do it. You usually can get it for 7 to 10 days is the average. And it's really nice to have that, because when you have only so many days to have that dumpster, that's the first part of the mindset. It's like the clock starts to tick. And then you, at first, it's a little overwhelming at first. You're like, okay. And you start kind of going down and you start like thinking, what can you get rid of? I would really encourage you before it comes, and I didn't do this. I had been thinking about it and been looking at it and talking about it, but I had not prepared. And so then when the dumpster actually came, I felt like the clock was ticking, and then I wasn't as organized as I could be. So one of the things that I started doing, though, is I decided I was doing my warehouse area. And I had things on there that I'm going to give you one tiny example of something that I had on those shelves. So when I first started selling product at my events, when I would go and do professional speaking, and then I would have back of the room sales back in the early, end of the 1990s, like 95, 96, 97, we had cassette tapes. That's what you sold, was cassette tapes. So we had all of our programs were on cassette tape. Then around 2000, everything got switched over to CD. And then, gosh, it was around 2014 or 15. It was like some people weren't even using CDs any longer. Cars weren't even coming with CD players. So, but people liked to have something physical. And I know even in selling online courses that I sometimes, even now in selling a course or a digital product, we will print some very inexpensive postcards to be able to give to people, because then they have it. It's a reminder of how to download it. You can email it, but some people then forget about it, and then they never actually go use the product. And you could be saying, well, who cares if they don't, because then they've already bought it. But I care, because I want them to enjoy that program and actually get benefit from the program, so that they'll purchase another program. Like, it'll be so good for them that they'll get another one. But so we had moved to what at that time, this is what a lot of music people were moving to. It was these little plastic cards. They were about the size of a credit card, and it had all the information on one side was what the content of that was. So like for music people, they had all the tracks on one side of like an album, and then on the back it taught you how to download that, where to go, what to link, what to do. So we had these little cards. So I had ordered, because I sold a lot of product from the back of the room, I had ordered, I don't know, 10,000 of these, because we had several products and you had to order, if you ordered 10,000, you got this huge discount. They were just pennies, right? So consequently, and I think we did all that. I want to even say we did that around 2016, maybe. Well, then we were using them, but we had not used up anywhere near that. And then the pandemic happened, and then I quit doing live engagements. And so then everything went to online. It became a whole different digital world. It felt like, again, overnight. So I had thousands of these plastic cards sitting on shelves. And it felt like, oh my gosh, like this is product I could still sell, but I wouldn't. It was just so hard to get rid of it till I finally went, I need to get rid of these. And I started really looking at those shelves and going, I need shelf space. So my mindset having this dumpster was like, I just need to get everything off these shelves. So when I made the first decision that I'm never going to use these cards again, even though I paid for them, they're still good, because this is where we get hung up, needs to go. And once I clicked into that, I just started dumping all of them. And what I did is because my warehouse of my business is down in my basement, and the dumpster was out in the driveway, which you got to go up the stairs. So I got boxes, pretty big boxes that we could carry, that were easy enough to carry. So you don't want to get too big of a box, because then you won't be able to lift it all. And this is mostly paper stuff and things like that. And I just started dumping them into that box, like throwing it in there so that we could then just take the whole box upstairs and throw it in the dumpster. And so that was the process that I used. It created more efficiency. And man, once I started letting go of things, it was just like, boom, we were just doing things like crazy. So I was working on that. And my husband was more focused on, what things in this garage do we just need to get rid of? What do we not use anymore? What's old? We had an old, post from a trampoline that got bent up in a like a mini tornado like that we had. It blew our trampoline up and took it like 2 houses down, and all the framework was all bent to pieces, and it was just laying out in our yard, like on the side of the house. And so we threw those in there. Like, it was just pretty awesome to be able to just get rid of stuff. And I ended up, the more I cleared those shelves off, the more excited I got about clearing the shelves off. I had an entire 2 shelves down in my warehouse area, because we have big shelving that kind of covers a big square area. And then fulfillment is in the center of that, where we have long tables where we can easily get to the shelving around it that we need. And then you can actually set things on the table if you're fulfilling boxes or orders. So once I decided I didn't want things on that shelf, I had 2 whole shelves of old cassette tapes. Like, what do I ever need those for? So I created one box that had one of everything that I ever did, to keep for just some sentimental value, that like, wow, I did this, and got rid of everything else. I had CDs in there. I had cassette tapes in there. I had one whole shelf of a library of VHS tapes and cassette tapes that I had listened to other people and followed. And it was like, I'm never going to listen to this. I'm never going to take the time to do this. That's not the way we receive information anymore. And I just don't need these. So once I decided I don't need any of it, like, it was the weirdest thing, because I'd hung on to it for a lot of years. Why? It's because our mindset is, well, I might need to listen to that. I might need to revisit that. if you ever do, it's probably, if it's worth listening to again, if it's relevant at all, you'll probably be able to find it somewhere else, like online or on YouTube or anywhere else, and or something similar that's probably more updated if you really wanted that information. But once I made the like, I'm clearing off these shelves, it was like, okay, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. And we ended up filling up that entire 15 foot dumpster, which was, we had it out there, I think it was for 10 days. It was the greatest thing ever, because then I was just like, oh, what else can I get rid of? What else can I get rid of? I just started going. Once I finished out that whole office area, I came up to my upstairs office area, and I was just like, okay, these shelves need to go. And once I got myself in a dumpster mindset, it was, and we only had 10 days. We did cleaning like you could not imagine. I recommend for everyone, if you are just carrying stuff around, and then it allowed us to say, well, this is worth, somebody might be able to use this. This isn't junk. We're going to take it to Goodwill or wherever that you want to be able to take things. There were some things that you can't throw in a dumpster, and they'll tell you the rules on that. Like, you can't put old used paint cans in there. You got to dispose of those in other ways. And so then we would take things and reorg, and then it actually allowed you to pull things out, because when you have a basement, you end up just putting stuff, I'll put that in a box and put it in the basement, and you probably don't need to use it, or you discover that you have 4 of something. I was talking to my cousin recently, and she said, I have 5 punch bowl sets, like, because I used to entertain all the time, but I don't entertain anymore at all. And why do I need 5 punch bowl sets? So she did a big, huge garage sale. Then she took whatever didn't sell to Goodwill. And then she ended up just also getting a small dumpster and getting rid of that, and cleaned out her entire basement. Because there are people, and you're probably one of them, I am. We moved here 18 years ago, and we moved things over in boxes from our old house, taped it up, and set it downstairs in a box. And it hasn't even been gone through. If you're not going to use it in 18 years, you do not need it. And so you're just carrying these things around, and a lot of times they're blocking other things. So once you just decide, I'm freeing out this space, it is amazing. But honestly, we kept saying we were going to do it, and we would do a few things at a time. But knowing that you had 10 days and you wanted to get it all out, and then just started clearing it out, and it was so freeing. And when I would go downstairs and I had all free open shelves to reorganize things that were kind of upstairs, downstairs, in the garage, and like remade our whole workspace completely different, and different than it had been in like 15 years. And it was so refreshing and so exciting. And it was lovely. And now that there's not that much on there, when I decide, like, I am retiring this all out, and I'm not going to have a warehouse any longer in my basement, and maybe I want to refinish my basement and do something else. Who knows? Like, the house is big enough. I don't really need that living space. But if I did, I could. Or if I decide that I'm going to sell the home because it's too big of a home for just me and my husband now, at least all that stuff will be cleared out, and it will be easier then for me to actually have somebody be able to come in and see a big open space instead of so much clutter. That's something to be thinking about as well. So hopefully this is helpful to you. So look into it. There's all kinds of different, like I said, different ones that range from about $246 on the lowest end, but I would say to you around $400 is a good, decent size, and the average price that you probably will end up paying. And you think, well, that's a lot of money. And it is, and if you have that, but I'm telling you what, it was so freeing and allowed and got rid of so much stuff. And there is no way that we would have taken that. And if you just put it out at your trash, a lot of times you're charged over. I know we are. We have to pay for our garbage to be picked up here because we kind of live in a rural area. And if we put more than like 3 things, like if you're overflowing, they'll charge you more. So, and it's way more than just getting that one-time dumpster and versus just a bag of garbage and you're putting out, and you'll do way more. Like I can't even to fill up a 15-foot dumpster felt so good, and it was a reset. Now you don't have to do that every year, obviously. We did that, I want to say 5 years ago, and we were just talking the other day that it might be time we could get a smaller one, but it might be time to do a dumpster again because it really was um, liberating. It was a freedom. It was, and it just allows you when you get to a certain age and you've just been carrying stuff around, it just weighs on you. It weighs on you mentally. And you don't want to leave all that for your kids to have to go through all your stuff and not even know what it is and think whether it has any value or figure it out. Like that is a ton of work for them. So you don't want to leave that on someone else either. So hopefully that was helpful. And it, honest to goodness, even when I think now about getting that dumpster mindset, I can sometimes just get boxes downstairs, a couple of big boxes, and just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to dump all of those in there. And then we will take that off to either a recycle place or wherever we do recycling on a pretty regular basis. But once you've gotten that mindset and actually ever gotten one, it's amazing how much easier it is to let go of things. So hopefully that was great information for you. It certainly made a big difference in our household, and it certainly made a big difference for me just getting rid of stuff. And I'm going to be really honest with you. Out of all of that and all those shelves that I emptied out, there has only been one thing. One. And there were, oh, I wish I could even show you a picture of it. It was so ridiculous. One thing that I threw away that recently I needed. It was some prices that I needed for something, and I needed to know what the original prices were. And I had gotten rid of all these catalogs from product, and I didn't have any of the original pricing. So now I'll just figure out how to price it. But like I was like, oh, let me go look at those catalogs and see what the original price on those were. And I had thrown all of them away. So that's one thing in 5 years that I have found myself going, ooh, I wish I hadn't thrown that away. One item out of thousands of items. Seriously. So hopefully that helps. And have fun with your spring cleaning this week and as you move into spring.